'Tis the season of scare. So I want to know, what stories did you guys love hearing around Halloween?
Ooh, I liked old ghost stories. Like I used to pick those books up and read them and be like, why the fuck did I read this?
Like Goosebumps?
No, Goosebumps was baby shit, but I did read that.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. No, they had like these like old like ghost stories books in my elementary school, and I was like, this is a terrible idea, but I'm just going to keep going. I forgot the name of it.
What was that show? Was it Nickelodeon?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes,
Are you afraid of the dark?
Ooh.
Yes, I used to watch that a lot with my brother and sister.
Did you ever watch Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah, that was on HBO, right?
That was on HBO. I tried.
With the little thing, the little
the
weird
skeleton
guy, and he was like, there was a coffin behind him.
So I read that this year, the historic site of Salem, Massachusetts, is expecting 1.2 million visitors, which got me thinking. I'm not dumb, but what happened during the Salem Witch Trials?
Welcome to the I'm Not Dumb But podcast, where we won't claim to have the answers to life's deepest questions,
But we'll give you an exciting journey
into the realms of knowledge you never knew you needed.
Might be mainstream,
But not common knowledge. From artificial intelligence to conspiracy theories, no topic is too taboo for us to explore. Let's get curious together.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of I'm Not Dumb But. I'm your host for today, Victor, joined always by Caesar.
What's up?
Rob.
Hello.
And Chris.
Yup.
Are you guys feeling the Halloween spirit?
I am. Or it's just indigestion.
I'm just like, whatever.
You're not feeling the Halloween spirit?
Well, Chris doesn't. I don't think he really likes Halloween.
I think it scares him.
It scares him. It puts a little fright in his socks.
Is that a Korean thing? Is there like Korean superstitions that avoiding?
No, my sister loves watching scary movies, like Haunted House. I think it's just me. I just don't. Me and the ghost and doesn't get along. So
yeah, I noticed that. You got to get into the season, Chris.
Yeah, you got to get into the season.
Do you decorate your house? Do you put spiders and stuff around there?
Nope. Too much work.
Not even like a pumpkin? There's no pumpkin out there?
Nope.
Oh my God. It's like a Jehovah's Witness over here.
It's like, yeah, we like our Jehovah's though. Thanks for supporting our channel.
Shout out Jehovah's Witnesses. So what do you guys know about the Salem Witch Trials? Like, have you visited the town?
I have visited Salem.
You visited Salem?
It's a little spooky. I did a ghost tour. They talked about some of the stuff that was going on there. I will say I went and there was some bad juju and I did not have a good time.
Really?
Yeah. There was some bad juju in that place, and I did not have a good time.
Interesting. So it's haunted as shit, is what you're trying
Bad
to say.
energy. Bad energy.
Whole town it was? Or it was like certain location? Or
as soon as we left, things got better. But while me and my wife were there, yeah, it was just bad energy all around.
Now you're saying that. I don't know if I want to go.
Yeah, I think she picks up energy and throws it at me.
She was actually just mad at you the entire time.
Yeah, I did something. But when we left, everything was great. And before we got there, everything was great. But I will not be going back with her.
Mad at you.
Today, we're going cauldron deep into the Salem Witch Trials and to try to get some understanding of what happened there. Let's jump into our podcast time machine. Let me just hit some few levers here and pull a few buttons.
Who built this thing? Jesus Christ.
So, here we go. Back to 1692. Guys, are you there?
I'm here.
Everyone here?
Yep. My Apple Watch says 1692. Do they have Wi-Fi here?
So here we are in Salem, Massachusetts. Nestled neatly by the water just 16 miles north of Boston, this place was settled in 1626.
A little rundown over here. No street lights.
Was it really 1600s? I always thought it was 1800s for some reason.
No, it's the 1600s.
Dang, it goes way back.
Yeah, these are old school patriots. Yeah, these are conservative values. What we're missing in this country.
That's the real America.
Actually, when I was going through, most of these people were actually born in England and came over.
Oh, so they had an English accent, eh? The pub was probably banging.
Ye old pub.
Yeah, nice one, Bob, yeah.
In January 1692, the daughter and niece of Reverend Samuel Paris became ill, which to me, I feel like everyone was probably cold and sick all the time back then. Like, what's the medicine? Just hot water soup and a few leeches and prayer?
And I feel like there was always bloodletting. Like, how do you feel? Not good. Let's cut you open. You know what, Doc? I'm feeling a lot better.
Have you prayed on it?
Yeah. Did you clean this thing?
Yeah. I think I hurt my leg. Try praying 3 times a day.
It's because you're a sinner.
Power of Christ compels you.
Betty Paris, the daughter, and Abigail Williams, the niece, suffered from a peculiar illness. They made strange noises, huddled under furniture, and clutched their heads.
Sounds like bad Chinese food.
You sure they're not having a panic attack?
Did you get the shrimp wontons? Because that'll do it.
Yes, I remember I had lasagna.
They complained that disembodied spirits were stabbing them, choking them, and even jabbing them with pins.
Who?
So, after a month of fasting, prayer, and home remedies, as a good father prescribes, he calls for the village doctor to help. Now, the village doctor is a man named William Griggs. And when you think of a 1692 doctor, what do you imagine?
Black wardrobe, probably a white face mask, maybe a...
Like during
Holding
the
a Bible.
Yeah, I don't know. You asked me a question, okay? Do you want the answer or not?
Yeah.
Holding like a briefcase with like
Bible.
metal cups in it. Yeah.
Or cross. Holy water. I don't know.
Like a priest?
He's a doctor, Chris. This guy's a medical professional. He went to NYU Langone, okay? He's knee deep in student loans, all right? This guy's a doctor.
Damn it, man. I'm a doctor, not a torpedo technician.
Well, not much is known about this guy, actually. He was born in England, came to Massachusetts as an adult. There are no records of medical training, because there's just no records of medical training at this time. And actually, people think that he may have been self-taught.
Oh, well, you know.
And what I found interesting was that when he went to see these girls, he was already in his 70s. In fact, he actually died the following year.
Well, he had a long career.
So it's January. He's in this old man just comes to this guy's house. He probably lives like a while away, right? So he's like going through the cold, shows up and is like, I'm here to see your daughters. Like,
yeah. I'd be like, when's the last seminar you went to, Doc?
Where did you get your training? I actually just figured this stuff out myself.
Yeah, I picked this up. I didn't actually read any books either.
We're in big trouble. Big trouble.
But the good doc took a look at the girls and said they're suffering from bewitchment.
Yeah.
Obviously. So how do you cure bewitchment?
Well, so the symptoms of bewitchment are just like pain in your stomach?
Well, no, they saw disembodied spirits.
Uh-huh.
They held their heads. They like.
Wait, oh, yeah.
So
that's
a common thing? Is that something that was going around?
Listen, are you questioning this good 70-year-old doctor's judgment about bewitchment? What do you know in 1692 about bewitchment?
If the guy shows up to my house, he takes
Alive?
one look. Alive, he made it there, first of all. He shows up and he's like, this is bewitchment. You gotta believe him. I mean, he nailed it. Confidence is really a lot of being a doctor, I think.
It probably was like, fuck, think of something quick, think of something. And then he was like, bewitchment.
Yeah.
You know?
He's going to a reverend's house. You know, it's not like he's just.
It was all prep. He had whole script what to say. Like
he heard from before. He's like, you know what? It's January. Definitely, this is bewitchment season 101.
Yeah.
Cold flu bewitchment season.
Just get it together, Doc. Just get it together. What are you going to say? What are you going to say when you get there? Oh, I got to come up with something.
It's like, oh,
bewitchment.
Trust me, I'm an expert.
Luckily, a friendly neighbor gave the Parises the cure for bewitchment.
Oh. Well,
what you need to do is you need to bake a witch cake.
Yeah.
Chocolate, probably.
A witch cake is you take rye meal, you mix it in with the sick person's urine, bake it over hot ashes, and then feed it to a dog. If the dog shakes, the person is cured.
what?
I shit you not.
It sounds like
These
what they do to like fraternity kids and like hazing weed. Hey man, we're just gonna need your urine. It's your birthday. Don't even worry about it.
Betty Crocker recipes are getting kind of crazy.
So you're telling me he doesn't need eggs?
No, this is an eggless cake.
Just add water. Just add water.
It's a thick cake. It's a thick cake.
No, it's store-bought.
This is supposed to hurt the witch, but it is actually discourage because you're using magic, and magic is dangerous. And you don't want people using magic to fight magic.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Right? Because that's all the devil's work. You know, you can't be handling magic.
Use politics. That's how you fight magic. Bureaucracy, baby. Red tape.
So as this is going on, a 12-year-old Ann Putnam Jr. and a 17-year-old Elizabeth Hubbard start suffering from the same illness. The same symptoms, everything. So now you have 4 girls out here that are suffering from this. They call it the affliction.
Oh, so this witch is like, she's really getting...
She's working overtime.
She's casting spells left and right.
Now, this is the end of February, and people are pressuring them, these 2 girls. They're like, can you see these apparitions? Who are these apparitions? Can you point them out? Girls start naming the apparitions that they see. Mind you, you have the 12-year-old and the 17-year-old, right? And the original 2 girls, one is 9 and the other one's 11.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to listen to them.
Well, they start giving names. They name Tituba, who is the Paris's West Indian slave.
Oh, God.
Sarah Good, and a woman named Sarah Osborne. All 3 of them, after they were named, were immediately arrested.
What?
Justice.
You gotta get right to the problem. I mean, you gotta get right in there.
All right, so let me give you an idea of how the interrogation of Sarah Osborne by the magistrate went. And this is from March 1st, 1692. Does one of you want to help me out? I have the the interrogation of Sarah Osborne. Does someone want to play like the man or the woman?
I'm the man. You're clearly the woman. I just want to make sure that.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But you have to use like an English accent.
Okay, I'll be the woman.
I'll play the magistrate, and Rob is going to play Sarah Osborne.
I'm Sarah Osborne. Okay. What's her backstory?
So Sarah is a woman from 1600s.
Okay.
Honestly, all about it. I know about her.
And she's going to die.
All right.
Whoa, spoilers.
Channel that.
Channel, I'm going to die. I can't vote. Things aren't fit for me, but I'm still white. Okay, got it.
You're under interrogation. You just got accused about being a witch, and you're in jail.
Okay.
And scene. What evil spirits have you familiarity with?
None.
Have you made no contract with the devil?
No, I have never seen the devil in my life.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them.
Who do you employ then to hurt them?
I employ nobody.
What familiarity have you with Sarah Good?
None. I have not seen her in 2 years.
Where did you see her then?
One day going to town.
What communications had you with her?
I had none. I only how do you do or so. I did not know her by name. She's clearly fucking guilty. I'm just going to say that right there.
And also, Rob, you definitely watch Bridgerton.
Yeah. I'm on season 3.
Bravo.
3, okay?
Bravo.
Yeah, that's that. And you know what?
We're on point.
Yeah.
Touche. Very, very well done. Well done.
So then the interrogation continues. He had the children stand and point to her, claiming that she was the woman hurting them. Both Good and Osborne maintained their innocence, but Tituba confessed. Again, I'll play the magistrate. Rob here will be the West Indian slave.
I'm watching my stories, man.
What evil spirits have you familiarity with?
None.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them.
Who is it, then, that does?
The devil, for aught I know.
Did you ever see the devil?
The devil came to me, and it bid me serve him.
Who have you seen?
4 women, and sometimes hurt the children.
Who were they?
Osborne and Sarah Good. I do not know who the other were. Sarah Good and Osborne would have hurt the children, but I would not. She further said there was a tall man of Boston that she did see. I don't even know what I said.
I had to actually translate this from like Old English, which was like so frustrating because they had taken papers that were basically written by hand.
Right.
And then they typed it all out. It still didn't make a lot of sense. And then it's using older versions of words that we don't use anymore. So I had to like semi-translate it the best I could. But as you can see here, Tituba was like, listen, it was these 2 girls. They found the devil in Boston. He's like, help me out and help me torture these girls. And so I'll be honest. I believe her confession was coerced because she flipped and named the women conveniently, but not the other two shadowy figures. So she just named the women that
They mentioned.
Yeah, she just want to get out of it.
She was slave, right?
Shadow figures don't have names. That's why they're shadow.
I wonder if she's like, fuck this. I'm fucked regardless. So let's just...
her interrogation got even weirder. She started talking about that mysterious man from Boston. She went on to talk about how she saw several talking animals, including a black dog, a red and black cat, a yellow bird, who all spoke to her, telling her to serve them and hurt or kill the children.
The original Dr. Doolittle. Seems legit to me. Seems legit to me.
It all just seems too convenient. Like if someone wrote Dealing with the Devil Handbook, like this would all be in it. And as we know, the devil deals in souls, not just threats, right? Like there's usually an exchange, like you get a soul and then I make you rich, or you can run for politics, like something.
She's not getting anything out of this.
And don't forget, she is a slave of the family where the daughter of her owner is accusing you of witchcraft. So like, come on.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
So around early March, 3 of the girls start getting slightly better, except for 12-year-old Ann Putnam, who then decides to name Martha Corey, Dorothy Good. Dorothy Good is Sarah Good's 4-year-old daughter, and Elizabeth Proctor. And with the help of possibly her mother and their servant, she names Rebecca Nurse, who's like this 71-year-old woman. All the women named were arrested. And oddly enough, both Ann Putnam's mother and their servant also start complaining about the affliction, that they were getting sick.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm getting arrested, I'm like, listen, I'm sick too, guys. And fucking, she's a liar, and her dog keeps shitting on my lawn. I mean, like, the dog's gotta go.
Now it's going to get interesting because as more people are becoming sick, they just start naming people around the others that were accused. For example, Elizabeth Proctor was named by the 12-year-old girl. Then her husband, John Proctor, was named. Then Sarah Cloyce, the sister of the 71-year-old lady, was named. Giles Corey, the husband of Martha, Abigail Hobbs, Bridget Bishop, all these people were just accused and then immediately arrested.
Do they think that all these people are a witch?
Yeah, and not even from Salem. By May, Reverend George Burroughs, who was the minister at Salem 30 years before, was issued a warrant to face witchcraft charges, and he was living in Maine.
Oh my God.
So they're just arresting everybody.
They're arresting everybody.
What I think is happening here, and this is just my opinion, that these young kids were sick. They were seeing shit. And now their parents, local townspeople, are just coming by, like screaming, who do you see? Who are they? And it's like 1692, right? So they're probably like slapping them around a bit, like trying to get answers. Like, give me a name.
Sarah. Who you see?
Yeah. Who do you see? It's definitely our neighbor.
Right? You
Joyce.
see Sarah.
Joyce.
I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
You knew most people, right?
Right.
John didn't trim his hedges the way I wanted to. I think I saw him stabbing my daughter as a ghost.
Yeah. Goodbye, John. Goodbye.
Let's just take a step back for a minute and talk about the town for a bit. So years earlier, in 1684, the Massachusetts Bay Colony's charter had been revoked. And this is important because without a charter, it kind of placed the whole area in a legal limbo. All these people that they arrested, they can't hold trials for them.
So what do? They just put them in the jail?
So they would just do these pre-trial interviews and then they would throw them in jail, which sucks because jail sucks. And those conditions were probably terrible. Like there was mold everywhere. There was lice all over the floor. It was so bad. The first casualty, Sarah Osborne, if you remember, did the interrogation.
Yeah.
She dies in prison in Boston on May 10th.
R.I.P.
So it's like a New York City public school.
It's like where Diddy's being held.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying Diddy.
4 days later, a new charter arrives and a new governor was appointed. And by the end of May, a special court was created to try the witchcraft cases. And this court was known as the Court of Oyer and Terminer, meaning to hear and determine.
They had such classy words then,
I think it's just Latin.
Latin? Who speaks Latin?
So the court was presided over by William Sawton, the colony's lieutenant governor, and 6 other men who were just businessmen and politicians. When this court was set up, Boston minister Cotton Mather went to them and was like, listen, when you try witches, you have to be careful not to just use spectral evidence. Meaning, don't just say, well, this person was seen in a dream and so boom, guilty. He's like, don't do that. I'm guessing he is like a witch trial expert.
He's a witch trial. He deals in witch law.
He does witch law, yeah.
Self-taught. Also self-taught.
Yes,
Online.
Take it easy. I'm in pre-law, man. Thought you're pre-med. What's the difference?
The court gets all this information, so what do you think they do with that?
Absolutely
They throw it
nothing.
out. Yeah, it's not going to work for us.
Yeah, they completely ignored it, which even caused one of the judges to resign after the first trial. This woman, Bridget Bishop, who was found guilty and hanged on June 10th. And like after that one trial, this one judge was like, this is crazy. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
This is wild. I'm going to work for Mayor Adams.
All my haters become my waiters when I sit down at the table of success.
So they were just letting people go in there going, yeah, I saw an apparition that kind of looked like her, and I think she was the witch. And so they were like, yeah, I totally accept that. The trials continued, and by late July, they will hang Rebecca Nurse, that 71-year-old woman, Susanna Martin, Elizabeth Howe, Sarah Good, and Sarah Wilds. And Sarah Good actually went out like a badass. As she's up at the gallows, this reverend just being obnoxious and is like, confess and save your soul, just being like really preachy. And then she replies, "You're a liar. I am no more a witch than you are a wizard, and if you take my life, God will give you blood to drink."
Boom, roasted.
Oh, yeah, got him. Didn't she put a curse on him by doing that, they believe? I thought there was something about like when he hung her and then she cursed him, and then like every person who's ever been in that position has died.
She had like a heartbreaking story because when she was arrested, she was actually pregnant. And she gave birth in prison, and the infant died before she was hanged. And her 6-year-old daughter was accused of being a witch, was sent to prison for 7 months.
Wow.
She didn't die, but she was like fucked up psychologically for the rest of her life. So it's just like some sad shit. Imagine like you're 6 years old and you're like, you're a witch,
prison?
you're going to jail. Like what? Yo, people are wild back then.
So she cursed Reverend Noyes, died of a brain hemorrhage after in 1718. And it said that when he was dying, he was coughing up his own blood. So he was drinking his blood. Essentially. So she did curse him.
I mean, though, 1718, though, and that curse took a while.
I mean, it's slow acting. It's not one of those ones that just comes and hits you.
I guess. It took its sweet time. In August, 5 more people were hanged. In September, 9 were executed, including a 71-year-old Giles Corey, who was refusing to recognize the authority of the court, was pressed to death. And if you're curious of what that means, you get slowly crushed by heavy rocks.
Oh, what a way to go.
And you're a 71-year-old man, too, getting crushed by rocks.
I would have moved. I would have just been like, you know what, this is the neighborhood's gone downhill. And
let's get the
I'm
fuck
paying
out
these
of here.
taxes.
Yeah. HOA
They're not even paving these roads. Yeah, I'm out of here.
This neighborhood sure has gone downhill.
By October 1692, public opinion of the court was, let's just say, really bad. People wrote letters complaining about it. Even ministries all over the area were like, this seems messed up. You guys are using too much BS evidence. You guys need to stop this shit. So Governor Phipps, the governor at the time, dissolves the court, but there is still a bunch of people in jail for witchcraft. He has the Massachusetts Supreme Court meet for a special session to try the remaining cases, this time without accepting spectral evidence, and only finds 3 of 56 people guilty.
I mean, those are better numbers.
But even still, the governor steps in again and says, listen, everyone is free to go. Just pay your jail fee of 2 shillings 6 pence a week, which is about $16, and we're good.
Jesus.
Simple.
Is it hard to get $16 at that time, though, if you're poor? Seems like a lot of these people were poor.
I mean, what's a Big Mac?
About $15. If you're getting the value meal.
Could you afford a Big Mac
That's
a week?
crazy.
I don't know.
No.
Crazy.
The price of a Big Mac or paying to get out of jail?
No.
Neither one. I'm having a hard time.
Jail one's fine. Big Mac, $15? No way.
You know, just put me back in jail.
People can't afford to pay their rent or mortgage, but you can afford a delicious Big Mac.
And that marked the end of the Salem Witch Trials. In total, 25 people were killed, 19 hanged, 5 died in jail, 1 tortured to death. More than 150 people were jailed for using witchcraft, and over 200 people were accused.
Jesus.
Witches have candles. Witches have brooms. Their houses are probably like, you know, pimped out, a little like, witchy. You know, you ever go to somebody's house and you're like, this person's definitely a witch.
Right.
Like, yeah, this is like who would do the drapes like that?
I did read there was one case that someone found like a knife that was like missing a point, and they were trying to use that as evidence.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, you don't really have a police force here. Like, what's an investigation? It's 1692.
There's nothing.
You're not dusting for prints.
No. Fingerprints. I don't think so.
In 1702, the General Court of Massachusetts declared the trials unlawful, and the colony passed a bill overturning witchcraft convictions, mentioning 22 individuals by name. Later, in 1957, a resolution exonerated additional victims.
What?
Took a while. Longer than the curse.
And in 2021, this is 329 years after the events of Salem, Elizabeth Johnson Jr. was the last person to be exonerated by Massachusetts.
Wow.
So 3 years ago, they got the last person that was exonerated because called a witch.
Did they say why it took so long, or did they just completely forget about her? Or
there was letters from like a middle school teacher and her class that they kept on, were like submitting letters that like, you should exonerate this woman for whatever reason.
Now, how did she take the news? Was she happy? Was she?
She's going to sue the shit out of that.
You know what? I submitted for a request for comment. She never got back to me.
Yo, she's ghosting us.
She's ghosting us. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to come out and say something?
Make a statement at least. It's been 329 years.
People are waiting.
We have the right to know.
And as for what the affliction that plagued them, they still actually don't know. There was a theory going around claiming that it could have been ergotism, which is a fungus. Ergot is a fungus that can grow on rye. And if consumed, you have symptoms of like violent convulsions and you see ghostly figures. That theory is highly contested because of how the affliction spread around the area. But many say it was many factors coming together. So like just fear because they're in this new continent, religion, family feuds. Like people even said many people were faking symptoms just to accuse people.
Yeah.
I could say that. You owe money or something. Like, I owe money to Rob. And I'll be like,
oh fucking hell. It
was Rob. Rob is getting
God, this guy got me.
Definitely Rob.
$17. I was going to pay him back.
Yeah, right.
This guy is... Yeah, don't worry. I'm bringing this doctor over. He's going to say you're just got bewitchment. Just go with it, all right?
I got this old man doctor that's coming in that's about to die in a few months.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
Let's just follow up on what happened to some of these people. Ann Putnam Jr., at the age of 27, apologized for her role in the witchcraft trials. She attributed her actions to a delusion of the devil. Ann Putnam Jr. is the only afflicted witness to publicly acknowledge her wrongdoing in the years after the witchcraft trials.
Oh, she probably felt bad about that.
One person,
People suck, bro.
Tituba, spent 13 months in jail after the trials. Samuel Paris, her owner, refused to pay her jail fees until she was sold off to someone else in 1693.
It's just going to be awkward. You know, she's working around the house and he's like, oh.
Because being a slave isn't awkward already.
I mean, that is awkward. But like, if we had that thing with I got to get rid of her. I got to get rid of her.
And now Salem, Massachusetts becomes the famous tourist destination for the Salem Witch Trials, which is flocked to by many every Halloween season.
When I was there last time, they had tons of people there. And then they would have these pretty cool ghost tours. People said that they would end it at a restaurant that had actually really good food. I forgot the name of it, but it was haunted. The restaurant was haunted. So people were saying that like sometimes you'll just see things move. You'll see doors open. People who work there they see weird stuff happening all the time. The vibe was bad. That's all I'm saying about that place.
Because it was haunted.
That's all I got for you guys. So final thoughts. Chris.
It was actually a pretty cool story. Like, I do remember reading about it when I was a kid or learning about it, right, in history class. I only remember bits of it, but it was cool. Good story. In Korea, it's more of a ghost than anything. They call it Chanyegishin. It's a girl ghost. She died before she got married. And then because of that, she has a lot of, she's pissed that she didn't get married. So she haunts single guys or people that made fun of her for not getting married or pressure. Yeah, something like that. Is that
wow.
in the yeah.
Has she tried Hinge yet?
Wears all white and really long hair and covers the face.
Oh, like The Ring.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like that.
Well, hell hath no fury than a woman scorned. And she is terrorizing an entire nation.
Caesar?
What I've always found interesting about this or any of these like crazy stories throughout history is like, what are the people around doing? Because I know there has to be some sane people. You're throwing women in jail for just random nonsense. What are they thinking? Some of them are like, yeah, they're witches. But the other ones, the ones that are actually sane, the ones that are actually like, are they too scared to talk, to act out? Because they're probably next. So, interesting stuff.
Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Salem. Good story. Some of those ghost stories are pretty crazy. Would never go back. They do have a good craft beer, though, if you're into that type of deal. It's hauntingly good, yeah. If I was one of those sane people, all I would say is, I hope that little girl doesn't say my name. And if she does, I am just clutching my stomach and I'm going down. I'm just going to go, I got the affliction, guys. It can't be me, right? Like, I saw him too. You're just trying to survive. It was a wild time. But I don't eat bread, so I wouldn't get any of that rye stuff. You know, you probably got to look at the people that were lean.
Atkins, the people that were on Atkins.
The people that were on Atkins, totally fine. They're like, this place is going crazy.
We want to thank you for listening, but we need your help. If you enjoyed this episode, I want you to find that share button and send this podcast to a friend, a loved one, or maybe just someone you want to break the ice with. And while you're by that share button, hit follow to stay updated on new episodes. Until next time, stay curious. Later.